certainly for Hinduism, and I am most definitely not a scholar of comparative religions, but as far as I know, for most religions in the world, especially at their most traditional, most fundamental levels, the purpose of sex is to propagate the human species, to have children, to pass on not just genes, but to pass on morals and values and ethics, and to create a good society, a good world, to have children, to do your duty, and then raise them well and raise them properly and bring good people into the world to contribute to society in this way that in traditional religion is really kind of the duty of everyone who isn't an official monk or nun. In Hinduism specifically, we have a really core teaching that is rooted and anchored in the fact that you are not your bodies. All of the teachings, all of the philosophy, all of the scriptures, the wisdom, all of it is rooted upon one very core fundamental truth, which is you are spirit, you are soul, you are divinity, you are essence. One of the most well-known, most fundamental core mantras of the Hindu tradition that I recite frequently for a whole variety of reasons, because it's such a powerful mantra. But the mantra says, Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Now, I won't go into all of the depth of that because that in and of itself could be a long talk. But the last line and the culmination of really what it's about is, oh God, help me to realize that I am not this individual body that was born, that changes, that dies, but help me realize that I am soul, that I'm spirit, that I was never born, I never die, I'm immortal. It's core teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna to Arjuna, who you are is that which cannot be burned by fire, dried by the wind, cut by knives. Who you are is immortal. You were never born. You will never die. So this is a very, very fundamental teaching of the Hindu tradition. You have a body due to your karmic package, your karmic journey. The body is that vehicle through which you move on your karmic journey, through which you fulfill your Dharma. But Maya, that illusion, is the false identification with the body, with the story, with the narrative. Therefore, that was all the preface. Therefore, to do things that are anchored and grounded and rooted only in pleasure for the body is seen as absolutely backwards to spiritual practice. That you're going in the absolute opposite direction. The spiritual practices are things like fasting, intense yoga. Now, why do we do this? Eating is good. We're all going to return to eating. Sleeping is good. We all return to sleeping. Why is there such an emphasis on these practices? It's not that eating is bad or sleeping is bad. It's that through those practices we learn the fundamental truth, which is, I'm not the body. I'm not that yearning, that hunger for food or for sleep. Even when married couples go on yatra, on spiritual pilgrimage, they'll abstain from sex. Nobody has to hand out like pilgrimage guidebooks, what to do. People just intuitively know. Even people who aren't vegetarians will go vegetarian. Even people who normally might drink some alcohol will abstain from alcohol. Monogamous, dharmic, married couples will abstain from sex simply because they're on a spiritual pilgrimage, or it's a spiritual day, or for whatever reason. All of these practices will be done on any day or any place or any occasion that is considered a religious one, a spiritual one, a sacred one, because they're all things that are rooted and anchored in the pleasures of the body. And so the reason that premarital sex is frowned upon so much in Hinduism is because clearly you're not ready to have children. In many cases, because you're too young. In other cases, just because there isn't a family structure. If you're just dating, you're not married. Well, what if you get pregnant? What's going to happen to the child? It's not a structure in which to bring a child into the world. And since having children is the only really spiritually sanctioned reason for having sex, then premarital sex is considered not right. Also, in traditional Hindu society, both the bride and the groom are supposed to be with each other for the first time. They're both meant to be virgins. The marriage is supposed to be the first time that either of them is with anyone. So it's another element to it. Then it's not just, well, you're doing it for fun and not for procreation, but it's also an affront in many ways to the traditional belief around marriage and system of marriage and what's considered a sanctity of marriage. But it goes beyond just premarital. It's the same reason why if a married couple, a monogamous married couple, a dharmic, righteous married couple, who already had their one child or two children or three children or whatever it may be, if they came to any religious leader and they said, oh God, yeah, we have sex all day long. We have it in every room of the house. We have it all the time. It's like it's all we do. Kitchen table, dining room table, everywhere. We have in the garage. That religious leader would say, Bas, bahut ho gaya. Like, enough. Stop. Not because they're not married, not because they're having an affair, not because there's anything amoral about it, but simply because it's considered off the path. It's considered simply that which is reminding you of something which isn't true, which is that you are the body. And it's reinforcing a focus around pleasure in the body, whereas spiritually we're supposed to be focused on recognizing that we are not the body. So that's the spiritual and also the cultural reason, especially in Hinduism. And I can't speak too much to the other religions, but my instinct is it's probably pretty similar.